Okay. So, um, the the hallowed ground, proof against any followers or worshippers, or even the deity herself, uh, are pushed back, and hover at the edge, allowing you guys to make your way in. Unfortunately, Filbert is then left out, unconscious. Well, near death, at this point. So are you guys just? I mean, we can keep the turn order if you like. Be Thea at this point.
Um, I mean, I don't know that he's down. So I mean, I
Yeah,
think
you
they
can't
will
even
just
see
keep
him. That's
going.
right. That's right. Yep.
So 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 50, 55, 60. My hope is, we get in there and anything that's going on, they're all gone. So nothing I can do.
Okay. The large zombied, uh, frost giants, begin to just pound on the space that seems incorporeal to anyone else, but for some reason for them, it keeps stopping them. And under the instruction of their goddess, they continue just to try to ram and slam into this base, to this mystical barrier. Lane kind of holds her position at the mouth of the new opening, screaming back, "Hurry! Hurry! We must make our way in quickly! Hurry!" And she pulls out her wand, and looks to kind of cover, anyone who is approaching. And she holds her action to fire it at any, followers, trying to stop you from entering, completely unaware that there's now a barrier preventing that from happening. All right, Kaz.
I'm going to turn and look, and I'm guessing I would see right at the edge of my viewing that Filbert is down, right?
Did you measure it? I mean, I'm sure. I mean, you can see
Yeah.
him like a country mile.
Yeah.
You have how
Yeah.
long is it? It's 120, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. You can definitely see he is. He's laying down. He's down in the snow.
Okay. I will yell to Villain that Filbert's down. We need to do something. We can't just leave him.
Okay.
And
What? What? What could we do against the goddess? She pulls out her spell book and starts looking through her spell book to see if she's got any Hail Marys. But it's not her turn in the order, so.
yeah, I'll like, I'll say like, tell them that don't let them go any further. And then I'm
Why the
going
fuck
to
won't it open? Okay.
I'm gonna hold my position to see what other people do before moving towards the.
Gotcha.
Measure from here to all the way out there. It's going to take me 2 rounds.
Okay. The cold white walkers are also now starting to push against the barrier, but they kind of are kind of feeling along the edges a little bit of it. They have a little bit more intelligence than a zombie and are trying to probe a little bit to see where the edges are, but are unable to penetrate, and that is what they're been told to do. So, Arrow kind of looks at the whole thing and gestures to, you can see her kind of thing. There's no actual words that are being spoken, but all of excuse me,
Bless you.
all 4 walkers and the 2 giant zombies all in unison kind of look to her at the exact same time, and you can see some gestures being made, and she just points a finger up the glacier, up at you all, and they all 6 of these heads all slowly turn back towards you all again, and with that she winks out and teleports out, and you lose sight of her. Filbert, go ahead and roll another save, please. Hey, dude, you are the luckiest fucking dice roller. Holy shit! I'm gonna take you to Vegas, at least in Atlantic City. All right.
Filbert, run.
Roll a d4 for me, will you? Ooh, that's not so lucky. So Filbert, you stabilize a little bit, but you fall deeply unconscious.
What?
Is that not how the rule works?
No, you with an extra 20, you come.
Nat 20 is back with 1 hit point.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I totally forgot that. I'm sorry, guys. I thought you just get two positives. I thought it just counted as 2 positives. I forgot. That's my bad. Ah.
Run.
All right. So with a groan,
I don't know where they are though.
Everybody with Kaz was yelling at you the proper direction.
So Filbert, you kind of come to yourself with an absolute splitting headache, and it feels like somebody is taking a baseball bat to your ribs. But you kind of look up a little bit, and I believe you've got 60 feet, or is it just 30 feet? Your dark vision with your glasses.
What, my dark vision? 60 feet.
Yeah. So you can see these cold wild, the two giant zombies, and a couple of cold white walkers. You can actually see all the cold white walkers because of the light coming off of their face is very bright and it carries further. In this kind of arc, and they're just kind of pushing against. At first, you don't see anything, but as their hands make contact, there's a distortion, something that they're pushing and pounding against. The zombies are just mindlessly banging against it as if it's going to knock down. The cold white walkers are kind of more moving back and forth along it, and testing it in various different places.
So the death save is at the start of your turn, so I have my full turn.
Yep.
I will
Half
dash
movement to
and dash.
stand. So you got 45 on this turn, 45 of movement.
I have to stand up first, so that was half my movement.
Yeah, so 15, and then your bonus action to dash is an extra 30. So you get 45.
25.
Your movement's only 25?
Mm-hmm.
Halfling.
He's a little guy.
Oh, yeah. They changed that with the new
He's not a
thing.
goblin.
Get to there.
How? You have 25 feet, half of which you have to use to stand up, so that's 12 and a half.
He has
That's
a
12
double dash.
feet. And then
I have
you
bonus
dash is
action
another
and
25, so that gives you 30, like 37. So we'll just say 40.
But
But I have a bonus action dash.
Yeah, on top of that.
Oh, because you
He
get
gets a
double
double
dash.
dash.
Days, I'm sorry, man. My brain is totally fried from today. You're absolutely right. I am so
Oh, good.
sorry. I'm not trying to be like combative. I just totally am not.
Yeah.
Obviously, yes, you get 2 dashes.
And you can see me like standing there, like fucking, like come on.
Didn't you hold
So you pass through that barrier, Filbert. As you do,
Yeah, cool.
you kind of feel a little bit of something, but almost nothing. But you, from the backside, you now can very clearly see that they're just kind of stopped. They almost look like mimes against this thing. You can see the flesh of the zombies, flattening against something that's sort of there, but not really. It's not as tangible or visible as like a Star Trek force field. It's almost just like thick air that's just stopping them dead. And they're just going to keep going back and forth. At a point very close to there, the priestess of the remaining Tiger Clan kind of move up, and she comes out of her stupor as they're kind of the remaining of her warriors kind of come around her. She looks around. She sees that the Frost Queen has departed, and that her minions are pounding on this thing, and she begins to pull her troops back, and they start to kind of just not set up camp, but kind of hold position and wait to see what happens within eyeshot of what her undead minions are doing. So we can go out of order now, Filbert. I'm assuming you're going to move up, and Kaz, you're going to move up.
Yeah.
As you
Yeah.
do, you
Pick him up, bring him to me.
you pass
I'm
as you
yeah.
pass the
I'm basically
druid.
I'm basically holding until Filbert passes me, and then I'm following behind him.
Sure. And as you pass by Filbert, as past Kaz, you see the druid before. He's now cross-legged down on the ground, sitting on a fur cloak that he's thrown down, and he's holding a kind of a glowing cracked stone in his hand. He's just kind of chanting and rocking slightly back and forth. And he looks at you without breaking the chant, and just gives you a solemn nod as you pass him.
Bring me Filbert.
I'll say we're in here.
You gonna move up, Filbert?
I guess so.
I mean, do you want to get healed? All right.
Catch up to Kaz and follow him wherever the rest of the group went.
I would have pointed you into the thing, and I would be behind you to try to block any incoming anything from you.
All right. For Filbert. Are you
Level
fucking
1 healing
kidding
word.
me?
Did you do healing word or?
No, I did cure wounds, and I rolled that terrible. I did it higher level cast. Ugh. So 10. God. I can roll 20, I swear.
He likes David.
Apparently.
Yeah.
So 10. At least you're not on
10
death's
more
door.
than I had. Yo.
Go ahead and give you a healing word.
If you're gonna cast a healing spell,
Mhm.
it's the same level, but you get more healing out of cure.
Yeah, true. Oh, do another one. This one. 10.
It's the same, but
But I didn't cast a level 3 spell for it. Yeah. So 20.
it's like close to half his hit points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I hope you learned a valuable lesson of not trying to fight all the guys yourself. I don't know what you were doing out there. We were all running.
Just bring Kaz so he can get out of there.
Well, I was
That's his
trying
fault
to.
for staying in the middle. But because of you, Kaz.
I was the only one that stayed behind to try to help.
So, what do I see in this place that I ran down the hallway for?
Yeah, we're all at the edge of the map now.
Yep, I know. As you guys head in, you find that it's a very uneven. The walls are kind of. It doesn't look like a cut. It looks like almost like it was kind of pulled apart, and it's where it's jagged on the other one side of the passageway. It looks like the opposite on the other, where they actually could glow back together and fit back together to be a solid piece. The opening, although it's about 5 or 6 feet wide at the very bottom that you guys have squeezed yourself into, you can see that it extends up almost 100 feet. For those of you, Kaz, you're pretty much the only one who can see that it goes up that high with your vision. But it goes and gets very narrow, but it extends above as far as the rest of you can see beyond the light of Thea's light spell. All right. So as you enter in, you see this. Ignore the fancy little corner piece that they put over it. And they don't make Roll20 doesn't bother to actually fix the artwork to make it a usable map. But you entered in. You find a centralized kind of chamber after about 30 feet of squeezing through this narrow passageway into a 30-foot wide or so chamber. That slightly slopes towards a kind of a sheet of ice, almost like glass. Possibly could have been at one point a frozen river. It could have been a puddle. It's hard to say. There are a couple rocks that are embedded in it, like large boulders, but it's beyond which you can see a more what you're already been used to, with a bit of snow covered normal, but there's this kind of passageway here. I should say, like almost like a frozen piece of glass, maybe a stream. But on either side of the walls are actually walls. You don't see any kind of flow where it could have flown in from.
I suggest we cross.
As you guys start to go in, Elaine's backpack on her starts to kind of shiver a little bit and move. And she goes to open the flap, and you see kind of like this spectral hand come out and rest itself on the ground and pulls out on the other side of the hand. Becomes almost like it's like the thing walking on one hand, and on the top is the other part of a hand, and it's holding the professor orb in its in it. And he's like, you don't think that the culmination of my creation, I would sit in that backpack, do you, Verlaine? And it starts to kind of move forward, and it's being held up to look around. With a clever use of mage hand spell.
All right. Well, I'm gonna test the ice with my foot, make sure that it's looks good. Yeah. Right. It's a mimic.
Cave mimics.
Yeah, I mean it's hard. It's really rock solid hard. It's not clear. I mean, it's definitely kind of an opaque kind of, but it's got more of that crystalline blue, more so than the white of snow. I mean, it doesn't look like anything else around.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get on it and try to cross it without falling.
Get up on it, girl.
It's only like a 10. I'm just gonna make a nice little jump across.
So I need to roll a dex save.
Yeah, it's there. She probably should.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like, you get out on it and you're kind of doing that old lady kind of the walk, you know? You're holding your shield in one hand, you got the mace held out wide for balance, and you're just kind of going. But you don't slip really at all. You get over to the side and your feet start to crunch again on the other. And you see kind of a passage in the light of your... I keep highlighting stuff on here, and I can tell that it's not showing up. I gotta look at the one that you guys can see over here, just how you're not seeing it. This passage here, it's got an up. You can see it sloping upwards.
Yep. Come on, guys.
After you.
You can definitely notice with your ridiculously high passive perception, but you know it's not that hard to. What appears to be icicled over, but like spider webs, cobwebs, but like large ones.
Ooh.
Now, they have been kind of since frozen, and ice and crystals have kind of formed on it. It almost make them look like, you know, an ice sculpture of spider webs, but they are definitely present.
Looks like a big spider used to live here.
Great.
What's that? Is that an airship?
Well,
I should be shrunken down by now, probably.
is it 10 minutes?
No, it's a minute.
Oh, God, yeah. Sorry. Really, I'm struggling with my freaking recall tonight.
Oh, you...
As you enter into that cavern, its ceiling is about 30 feet above you. In the light of your divine talisman, just is barely reaching to cast some shadows on what you can see from the ceiling of the cavern. At the center, the remains of a wooden ship hull rests on the floor. Villain, wandering in, says, "Ho ho ho!" And she grabs the professor's the flint out again. And what do you make of that? Oh, yeah, another East Sky Coach. I've always wanted to ride in one of those. Pity it's no longer in one piece.
What's a sky coach?
Well, it was a conveyance for riding long distances through the air. Much as a coach would be used today being pulled by horses, this would fly through the air without any other than the magic of its creators to propel it.
Cool, so it flies like a dragon?
I would think actually maybe even possibly more gracefully than one.
Would it be faster?
That is unlikely.
Oh, then I'll stay on the ground then, thank you.
As things stand, I don't believe you have much of a choice, young lady.
Oh, that's good.
I'm going to kind of walk around and take a look down all these little... I'm not going to go down, but I'm going to take a look down all of these things, see if I see... Just try to make sure that we're not... There's nothing coming down any of these hallways.
Well, as you approach this here, if you want to, you know...
Yeah.
It's not a video game. I need to maybe I got to change that so you guys doesn't moving it around doesn't change your thing. But this right here is a 20-foot drop. Cast. So
Okay.
you're up on top of a ledge, and looking down, you can see down to a lower level to another chamber down here. But it's about a 20-foot drop.
Okay.
Exploring this side passage, I don't know. You didn't mention how far you wanted to go in that one,
So I'm gonna
but
go
just
to the edge
looking,
and kind of look in and make sure.
yeah,
I
you
see.
look in. It looks like there's some kind of. It goes in for about 10 feet or so, and then it looks like it kind of. There's a chute that goes up very dramatically upwards from there. It looks like it would be a pretty. It looks like you're at the bottom of a water park slide, for lack of a better way to describe it. But you can see that it kind of goes up sharply. Some kind of like high, severe angled chute. This one you can see about 10, 20, 15 feet back in, and then it looks like the passage splits left and right. Similar to this one, about 10 feet in, it makes a sharp veer to the left, beyond which you can't really see.
That's this one.
That's this one. Yep.
Okay. So I don't see that thing that is showing then.
Yeah, sure, if you want. I mean,
I'm just asking. If I don't, I don't. Then I'll just ignore it.
um, yeah,
I'll
I
see
don't
how
think you would because yes, there's clear, no, you do not see it. You don't see anything past this outcropping and that outcropping unless you go into
Okay.
there.
Then I'll come back down here.
Sure.
And so where do we go from here? Should we go down this drop?
There's multiple pathways. Do you think we should stick together or split up?
This looks like from what I can see, this looks like a big opening down here.
Split
Lots
the
of
party,
rope.
split the party.
Climb down.
Any tips, Professor?
Tips
Yeah, what
for
are
which
you
direction to proceed? I've never been here before. Certainly, perhaps the sky coach might have some kind of information or valuables. Still, it's hard to say. It seems to miraculously be still undecomposed.
Yeah, let's investigate the sky coach.
Into another ship.
And
Would you like to help me investigate the ship, Filbert?
No.
Okay. I'm really great at investigation.
I'll help you investigate the ship.
Or more like, I'll help you investigate the ship.
So it's not like an ornate, like it's not like it's got multiple decks or anything like that. It seems to be like a kind of a single, almost like God, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just got a single deck. It doesn't have a below deck area. In the back of it, however, there is a bit of not even a cabin, because it's not tall enough to be a cabin. It's probably about 4 feet high, where there's kind of shelves. It kind of looks like there might have been some kind of storage or whatnot, or doors that were on there that now look like they've been broken off in the crash. Part of the one side of it has been kind of crushed in, but you can still see that there were some kind of seating area there in the back there. And as you kind of get close to that, you find that there are 4 skeletons that are kind of draped around in the back on what's left of the seating. You don't. Your passive investigation, Thea, is enough to note that none of them have heads.
Oh, jeez.
All 4 of them have been. The heads have been removed, and there's just the bodies. They are kind of wearing what looks to be frozen stiff and solid in the cold, but they were probably at one time ornate robes of some kind. But now they are all kind of hoarfrost and just covered, in a layer of ice. Where was I? Filbert notices pretty quickly that in that storage area, Filbert, there is what appears to be a large iron safe that is part of that back storage area that is intact and closed. You don't notice that.
Well, we'll go to work on that safe. If nobody has any ideas or is rushing me out of there.
There are numbers that have been, or there are symbols around a circular dial. You are experienced enough to know a combination knock when you see it. Roll just a straight. Give me just a straight intelligence roll.
It's 14.
Even though you don't speak it, you've now been exposed to it in the past, and you recognize these characters are Draconic. Though you don't speak Draconic, and you can't tell what they are, you at least recognize the script as Draconic.
Know to keep an eye out for any other Draconic script. Includes these symbols here. We will need a combination.
Can't you, I don't know, let's, tippity tap on it and use your tools? Isn't that what you're, super skilled at?
You can certainly try, Filbert.
Locks. Around
I
with it.
I don't know how it works, but I bet you there's something valuable in there if it's got a lock like that.
Thieves' tools definitely contain a little, not a magnifying glass, that's for a thing, but what would that be the equivalent of magnifying glass for your ears?
Listening horn?
Yeah, something like that. It definitely has in the kit stuff for that type of lock as well. So if you would like to try to pick it, you certainly can. Yeah, give me a dex check with thieves' tools.
Thieves' tools.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Son of a bitch.
See, I told
Should've
you could do it.
Killed me when you had the chance, Mickey.
The thought occurred to me. All right. This. So it takes you a good solid minute to get it. To get the thing actually able to turn freely, and the coal hasn't been touched in so long. To listen to it, but once you get it going, you find that it's not that difficult, or it's very familiar. You played with a lock like this when you were learning how to do this. And maybe it's the cold, maybe it's the disuse, but you are really clearly able to hear the tumblers falling into place as you turn the lock. And as you go to spin the dial, it turns, and the door opens. Inside it, you find a large, not that large. I don't know why I said that. You find to you, it's a little bit larger than normal, but you're a halfling. About the size of a loaf of bread, black velvet bag with gold piping along the edge, and a woven golden braid, that kind of a drawstring on it.
So,
So it's a big safe. You open it up, and inside is this one velvet bag. It doesn't look at all. I mean, you're fairly intelligent. You would expect it to look old, like the shipping. It looks like somebody might have just put it in there 5 minutes ago.
It has a bunch of polyhedral dice inside.
Time to roll.
And when Filbert touches them, they only come up 20s.
Open it up. What's in there?
I tossed a bag to Thea and I tell her to open it.
Okay, I opened the bag.
Dick save.
Yeah. Save.
I cast magic missile at the
Well,
darkness.
not, so.
All right, opening the bag. It's dark inside the bag.
Okay, I put my hand in it, see what's in it.
Okay. Your hand goes in and keeps going in and keeps going in until all of a sudden you're up to your elbows in the bag.
All right, I will take my hand out and dump the bag inside out.
Going for it, huh? Cool.
I mean, it's great that it wasn't the other thing I thought about.
Right.
Bite your arm off.
Right.
I was like, well, there goes Thea's arm.
Mimic bag.
Clattering down on the ground are a couple things. You see 4 large amethysts kind of fall down to the ground and start clanking around. Filbert, your eye, instantly you can say that these are actually cut, polished, very nice gemstones. You would think at least 100 gold pieces each.
Okay.
There is also
Pretty.
a black crystalline ring. Same black stuff that you have seen in the past being used by various things in the area. But
Chardolin?
what's that?
Like Chardolin?
Yep. Yeah, you're pretty sure it's
Yeah.
Chardolin. But this Chardolin looks very well worked. It has been sculpted and polished, and the The ring actually looks like a ram's head with curled horns. Um, and it's actually quite beautiful.
Charlotte, gross.
That looks pretty.
Now, Thea, we've discussed this. Charlatan in of itself is not necessarily evil unless it is imbued with that. It is a fantastic magical conduit.
I believe so, yeah.
This quite well might be a Netherese artifact of some power.
Oh, is it magical?
Very well could be. It is
I-
clearly within a magical bag.
Mm-hmm. Well, I
Gimme.
here, Winzira, you can have this to study.
Cool.
You putting it on?
No. I don't know when I got rid of it, but I got rid of detect magic some time ago.
Uh,
So I'm just gonna try and
You-
just I'm gonna cast identify.
You have it as a whatchamacallit, right?
So I'll just cast it. I'll just spend the minute because time is not on our side. I think I got rid of it when we had like multiple people who had that skill and they have dwindled from the party.
One of these days I'm going to remember how to do it. The whisper. Today does not appear to be that day.
So I'll just study really hard.
Backslash
From
W
Hen-
and the person's name.
Yeah, it didn't work the first time. Now it's
Forward
working.
slash. Yeah, it's forward slash.
I'll study Hendrick's book later on, and I'll try to remember that spell.
Name.
Of course, it does have to the correct way, and then everybody else gets to see the alternate way. So.
Loud Mickey.
Oh, I leaned into the mic. I'm sorry.
I gotta call it here soon.
Oh, this is awesome! Can I keep it?
What does
It's
it
mine
do?
now. It does stuff.
What kind of stuff?
I'll put it on, and in an hour, if we run into something bad, I'll show you.
Okay.
Let's just say it's very on point with the carving. Listen, I'm the animal person, so it's mine. There. I said it.
I don't want it.
You actually, as you're doing that, and you guys, did you?
Mm.
The direwolf just started whining.
What?
It was the strangest thing I ever saw. The direwolf just was looking around, and direwolf just was whining.
That's weird.
It's not normal.
Oh.
Oh, what's the matter? Did you get stuck? I know you got stuck.
And it just kind of starts to kind of pace. It's pacing back and forth now, sniffing the air.
Do you smell
it's-
something delicious?
Smells something.
Hmm.
Well, should we go down this ledge or down one of the other tunnels?
Can I request that we go ahead and end here for the night? I gotta get to bed.
Sure.
Maybe we
Absolutely.
can decide which one we're going down. But yeah,
I would vote one of the
We're not
side
going to remember
passages.
next time we play anyway. So.
true.
Oh God, I hope it's.
Thea's gonna keep the bag though with the is it amethyst or sapphires? Can't remember.
They were 4 amethysts.
Yeah,
or,
amethyst. Yeah.
Gold each, and I think you guys are experienced enough with a bag of holding now to know that
Yeah.
you have another one now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The last one being the purple velvet. This one is black velvet.
Well, it was fun to see everybody.
Yes, it's been so long.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just gotta get up early. So.
All good. It's almost 11 anyway.
We'll see you guys next week.